Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Exercise 5A. We are reviewing all the ideas that we did in book 2A in grade 7, and we are revising those ideas, right? This is my second video. So let's start. Here it says find the value of each of these. Now 30% of 250 means that if you will get 30 out of 100, how much will you get out of 250? So just change this off into multiply and then write 250 out of 1. This shows that whenever we want to percentage of any value of any quantity, you should multiply the percentage with that value, right? And that percentage, it's better change it into a fraction. So look at this 0 and these zeros, both the zeros can be cancelled with these zeros. So what is left now? We are left with 3 times 25. So 3 times 25 will be 75. So this shows that 30% of 250 will be 75. What is 10% of 4.5? So 10% means 10 out of 100 and then multiply it by what? By 4.5, right? Now how do we multiply? Whenever we are multiplying any number that has the decimal with 10 or hundreds, we just move the decimal to the right side. So this one will become 45 out of 100. Now when you will divide 45 out of 100, again we will move the decimal, but now we will move the decimal to the left side. Right now the decimal is here. When you will move it to the left side, it will reach here. So finally your answer will become 0.45. right? You have to move it 2 places to the left side because you have 2 zeros over here. Now solve part C and D on your own. Pause the video and then play to check your answers. So here are all the answers, and this is how you will simplify these when you will be multiplying. Let's go to the next idea. Here they said find the percentage error of the following values. Whenever you want to find the percentage error, you are going to use this formula, that error divided by the original value times it by 100. By the way, the same formula could be used whenever they ask you to find percentage increase or percentage decrease. What will be the difference? Only this numerator error will be replaced by the increase in the value and decrease in the value. Clear? So this formula is the basic formula for finding any percentage increase, percentage decrease, percentage error. Okay, here if you notice that this they said the measured length is 12.3 centimeters and the actual length was 12 meters. So it means that there is an error, and how much is the error we don't know. So how we will find the error? We will always write the larger number on the top. We will keep it on the top, and then we will write the smaller value here below it, and to subtract them actually. So when we subtract, we will get 0.3. So this is the error. This is the error that is done in measuring the length of anything. When you will get the error, then we will go to step 2. What is step 2? Now we have to use this formula to find the percentage error. So how we will find the percentage error? It will be equals to error, that is 0.3, out of the actual. Original means the actual amount. How much it is? 12. Times it by 100 out of 1. Now when you will multiply this 3 by 100, the decimal will move 2 places to the right. I don't have anything over here, so I can add a 0 here. So it will become 30 out of 12. Now divide this 30 by 12. 12 times 2 will be 24, and we are left with 6 here. Then you will add decimals to get an extra 0, so you will bring it down, and 12 times 5 is 60. So the final answer will become 2.5%. Now solve this question on your own, then play the video to check your answer. So here is the answer, students. Let's solve some more questions like this. Here they said the measured weight is find the percentage error for each of the following. This is C part. 975 is the measured weight and the actual weight was 1000, and here the estimated cost is 29, the actual cost is 25. So pause the video here, find the error in both of these, and then find the percentage error, and then play the video to check your answer. So here are the answer, students. Just one thing, Here I told you to memorize the multiplication table of 25. So you have 4 out of 25 times it by 100. So 25 divided by 25 will be 1 and 100 divided by 25 will be 4. So you can cancel this 25 and 100 together because both of them are in the multiplication table of 25. So finally we will get 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, now let's solve some more questions. Here we have the word problems of different with different ideas, with different concepts. It says Paul scored 25 out of possible 50 in the science test. What percentage was this? So they want us to change his score into percentage. So remember, in the beginning I told you that whenever you have a fraction is what? Fraction, in the fraction we always have the total parts in the denominator and the part that we are considering in the numerator, and then we multiply it by 100, right? So right now the total marks are 50 and he got 27 out of 50. So you will say that 27 out of 50, if he is getting 27 out of 50, so what percentage it will be? You will multiply it just by 100 to change it into percentage. Like we got the fraction. To change any fraction into percentage, we multiply it by 100, right? So multiply it by 100. What can we do? It's 50 times 1 is 50 and 50 times 2 is 100. What are we left with? We are left only 27 times 2, that will be 54, and in the denominator it will be 1 times 1, so no need to write 1 in the denominator. So he got 54% marks. If you look at the next question, it says in a form of 30 pupils, 21 of them are boys, what percentage are girls? So look at this, from the 30 students, 21 are boys. So we don't know how many girls are there. We need, if we want the percentage of the girls, we need to know how many girls were there. So to know how many girls were there, subtract from this 30, 21, that will give you 9. This shows that there were 9 girls in the form, right? So now change this, because how you will change it into percentage now? You need a fraction. What is a fraction? That there are 9 girls out of total 30 students. Clear? So when we make the fraction, about the part that we want to change it into a percentage. Like here we want to change the number of girls, we want to tell the number of girls in the form of percentage. So the fraction should be showing that how many girls are there out of the total number of students. So there are 9 girls out of total students 30. Now multiply it by 100. So it will give you what? 0 will be cancelled with the 0. 9 times 10 will be 90 out of 3. Now 90 out of 3, it's very simple. 9 divided by 3 will be 3, and you will place the extra 0. So there are 30% girls, right? Now these questions are of the same idea. Better pause the video here and solve at least question number 8 on your own. So here is the answer, students. Because 12 were having long hair, but they want us to find the percentage of the female staff who do not have long hair. So first subtract this 12 from the 40 to know how many female members do not have long hair. So 28 do not have long hair. Then just the next steps are exactly the same. Now here they are saying all the students in a college live either in hall or lodgings. If 20% of 2,650 students live in lodgings, how many live in hall? Right? So from here you can see 20% are living in the lodging. If you want to know how many are living in the hall, so subtract this 20% from the 100. So this means 80% are living in hall, right? But they want us to give the exact number. So how can we find the exact number of students? Just multiply this 80% by the original value, right? Like 80% are not 80% is in the form of percentage. If you want to know the exact amount, then multiply this percentage with the actual value. So the actual value is 2,650 out of 1. We can cancel the first 0 with the first one and second 0 with the second one, and finally you will get 530 students, right? They are living in the hall. When you multiply 8 by 265, it will give you 530. Now this is the same idea, so please solve it on your own. So here is the answer, students. Let's solve. Now let's go to the next idea. Increase or decrease the values by given percentage. It means they have given you the value is $300 and they want you to increase this value 27%. Now there are two methods to solve the same questions. For the first question, I will explain you both methods, but then it's up to you which method you like. You can go with that method. Here, if you want to find the final value, first because this one is written in the parenthesis, so find the percentage out of 100, times it by the value. Means right now I have 27%. So step 1 will be that I will find how much is 27% of this 300. So what will you do? You will do 27 out of 100 and then you will multiply it with the value, that is 300. 2 zeros will be cancelled with the 2 zeros and the final answer will be 81. So this is the increase. This is the increase. Now we want to know that how much will be the total, you can say total value, the final value that $300 will change into. So you will add, because this is the case of increase, so you will add this amount into 300 to know that what will be the new amount. So new amount will be $381. Means if you increase 300 by 27%, the final amount will be $380. This is one method. The second method is go with this formula. Like you can directly find what is the final amount. How? Just write the original value, that is 300, and then times it by the multiplying factor. Now what is multiplying factor? We get the multiplying factor if it's a case of increase. We write in the numerator. Here is the formula for the multiplying factor. We add this 27 into 100 and then we divide it by 100. Right? Actually, it will become 127%. After the increase, it will become 127%. So if it is a case of increase, add 100 into it. So it will be 127, and because it's a percentage, so write it out of 100. So this is called the multiplying factor. When it will be a case of decrease, you will subtract this from the 100. When it will be a case of increase, you will add it into 100. So look at this. It will become 127 out of 100. You will you can put 1 over here in the denominator. These two zeros will cancel each other and you will multiply 127 by 3 and you will get the answer $381. Okay. The thing is, if you go with this method, although it has 2 steps, but both the steps are very easy, the calculations will be very simple. If you go with this step, sometimes the calculations here in this step becomes a little bit, they become a little bit difficult. So, I prefer if you can use this method, but it's all your choice, students. Okay, now here it's the same idea, so better pause the video here, solve all these questions on your own, and then play the video to check your answers. So students, here I used both methods. Like for the first part I used this formula, and for the next two I used the second formula, the one that I showed you here, this one with the multiplication factor, right? So if the one that is easy for you, you can check, you can solve with that method, but I think this formula is easy to memorize, but this formula is easy to solve. Okay, let's solve some more questions here. It says John is 8% heavier now than he was 2 years ago. If he weighed 55 kilograms, then how much does he weigh now? So they are talking like now he is 8% heavier, like it's a case of increase. So what will be the multiplying factor? The multiplying factor will be, we will add this this 8 into 100. So it will give you 108%, means now his weight is 108%. So simply to know the final value, or you can say his final weight, what do? We multiply the original value, that is 55, we multiply it with the multiplying factor. And what is the multiplying factor? It's 108 out of 100. It was 50 kilograms. So what will you do now? You will cancel the first 0 with the first one, and now simply multiply these two together and divide it by 10. Here when we multiply these two, so here is the answer, students. Let's solve one more question, and this is the last question for this exercise. It says a school employs 120 teachers. Next year they must reduce this number to 15%. So if they are going to reduce it, that means it's a case of decrease. So how will we get the multiplying factor? We will subtract this 15 from 100, that will be 85%. So next year the number of teachers are going to be 85%. And how can we know the final value, or you can say the final number of teachers who will be in next year in the school? We will multiply the value, the original value, by this multiplying factor. So it's going to be 85 out of 100. The first 0 can be cancelled with the first one, and now multiply the numerators together, and then because of this 10, simply you will move the decimal. So next year the teachers are going to be 102 teachers. Like we can cancel this 0 here as well. This 0 can be cancelled with this one. So 102 teachers next year. That's all for this video, students. Hope you understand the ideas.